So car culture really began to develop in China in the 1980s. Before then, it wasn't really common for many people to own cars. It was normally super wealthy, and it just wasn't really a big part of Chinese life before then. But after that, there was a big surge in car ownership. By 2000, there were about 4 million cars owned in China. And by 2019, last year, there were 340 million cars in China, which originally is a lot more than most experts had predicted would happen. So with this big boom in car ownership came development of infrastructure as well. There was a lot of roads that needed to be built, and this led to helping the economy as well. So in 2000, there were about 16,000 kilometers of freeway in China, and this year there are about 100,000 kilometers of freeway, and this is continuing to develop as car ownership continues to surge. Another problem that car ownership and this surge in it brought to China is a lot of crash-related deaths because people hadn't really driven before. So in 2007 alone, there were 221,135 crash-related deaths in China, and this was sort of a symptom of a cultural divide that already existed, but this led to a lot of social tension between the rich and the poor because a lot of these deaths were related to rich younger people whose parents had bought them their cars, racing sports cars, and leading to a lot of these deaths. So that was kind of a social divide that was occurring. And it's become such a problem that in Beijing there are a lot of limits now that are imposed. Certain drivers can't drive certain days of the week, and new registrations are actually awarded by a lottery system. And Danae kind of talked about this already, but car cultural development in China versus the US was very different. It's seen much more as a status symbol in China to own a car than a symbol of freedom as it kind of would be in the US.